What's up, soccer fans? Mike Guglielmi, Sons of a Pitch, an American soccer podcast. Yes, episode number 203. Thank you for joining on tonight's episode. We're going to talk MLS recap from last weekend. We're going to talk all about the group stage in the Gold Cup, what to expect in the knockout rounds of the Gold Cup, as well as possibly take a look at some of the matchups coming up, starting out in like an hour with Vancouver and Houston, and then a ton of midweek games as well. So thanks again for joining. Make sure you hit that like button down below as well. If you're new here and you love soccer, hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our awesome American soccer and CONCACAF soccer content. All right, guys, let's get right into our MLS recap from last week, starting out on Saturday, July 17th. The first game up was the New England Revolution visiting Atlanta United. The Revs, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and they showed it. And this was the straw that broke the camel's back for Atlanta United head coach Gabriel Heinze. This was it for him. He lost this matchup 1-0 New England, and a goal by Gustavo Bo sealed his fate. And freezing out strikers is not a great idea right now. It's not a great idea at all. We got Brother BKL in the house. What's up, Brother BKL? And God, I tell you, man, Atlanta really, really struggling right now. The amount of issues at that club has not been the same since they won MLS Cup back in 2018. Gustavo Bo in the 18th minute, and Heinze is fired from Atlanta after this matchup. All right, we got Kathy on. What's up, Kathy? How you doing? Same thing. James DeBoer. What's good? I'm doing fantastic, James. How about yourself? All right, let's see. We got the next game in the lineup was the Red Bulls against Philadelphia. Not Philadelphia. Red Bulls against Inter Miami, and this one was postponed. They tried to hold off for as long as possible, but they could not do it, and that was the end of that one. They will reschedule that at some point. I don't know when, but at some point they will get it going. This one being postponed. Next up, and there you go. Look at that. Zachary Harden. So 3 managers for ATL in a year. Yikes. Yes, Atlanta's struggling, man. They really, really struggling right now. And their Brother BKL. Atlanta coaches is a mess up and not good. Between me, I don't know whose fault it is, between the front office or Greg. Honestly, it's the front office. Bocanegra has really pooped the bed a lot since Tata Martino. Look at what's happened to this squad, right? This team, you figure they come right into the league. They're one of the best teams in the league right from the get-go. And they're right there. They go and win an MLS Cup in 2018. Everything's going well. Tata Martino leaves. Miguel Almiron leaves. And everything starts going downhill from there. Now, Bocanegra hired Frank de Boer. Okay? Not good. Frank de Boer, we all know about Frank de Boer. The man, he has the resume of like an unbelievable resume, but cannot seem to get it done. So great resume, but can't get results on the field. He's gone. He leaves. He heads over to the Netherlands. He gets canned after Euro 2020 and 21. Frank de Boer, trash, right? So Bocanegra is on the hook for his hire. Then for Gabriel Heinze as well, he comes in and he's out halfway through a season with Atlanta struggling the way they are. Hey, Chick, how was volleyball?
Really good.
Good. You have to tell me about it when I'm done.
I won a prize again.
Nice. Another prize?
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. We'll talk about it when I'm done, okay? Maybe like 30, 40 minutes. All right. So what? I know, right? There you go. James DeBoer says, that's my uncle, bro. Well, there you go. It is your uncle, but hey, trash. I'm sorry, dude. Can't coach. That's your uncle. So anyways, then you got this manager, Heinze. Apparently he was quite the nut job. From what I've heard, he's crazy. And then he locks out Joseph Martinez from the team. And that is like basically the death of a head coach. I mean, you saw Chris Armas do it with Josie Altidore. Now all of a sudden, Armas is gone. Josie's back. Well, here you go. Joseph Martinez, same deal. Heinze is gone. Joseph will be back. and we'll roll through that way. I'm telling you, they're going to pick the star striker over the coach any day of the week. Any day of the week, especially if it's a star striker who's won an MLS Cup. Now, I completely don't agree with Josie Altidore. I think he should be gone already, long time ago, but they can't find anybody for him. So to buy him, that's the problem. Toronto, they're stuck with Josie Altidore. So what do? I guess you just put him on the pitch and hope for the best, right? So anyways, enough talk about that. Moving along to the next game. You know what, let's do a share screen here on StreamYard while I'm using this StreamYard piece here. So Columbus and New York City from lower.com field. This game, a really good game. Columbus was hurting. They had, you look at the lineup that this team fielded in this matchup. I know I was talking to Connor McCabe. He was at the game, and he was actually supposed to join us and guest host tonight, but unfortunately he did not because some internet issues. But this squad, no striker up top. They've got Barry. Seems to have some decent talent there, but no Jossie Zardes up top. Also, a little bit in the midfield, a couple players that are out. Same thing with the defense was a little rough with Keita. He's not the starting center back. Same thing. Waylon Francis sometimes starts on the left, but not much. And Abdul, they've got better options there. So a very good result for Columbus. 2-1 victory. Nagbe and Zelarayan with the goal. Zelarayan with the free kick goal, and Medina with the goal for New York City. Dan DeCastros, I bet that NY game, shocking loss for me to Columbus. Yes, definitely. And Dan, thanks for jumping on, man. Definitely a shocking loss. I didn't think Columbus could pull this off. I really didn't. And that's been kind of par for the course with my betting as of late, because if I think that there's basically no chance that's going to happen, it's going to happen. That's always what happens. And Brother BKL says NYC almost gets penalty and the refs mess up, and they said no penalty. There you go. So it was close. It was close. Dan Garriger in the house. What's up, man? GK Mason as well. How you doing, GK Mason? But Columbus, good victory for them over New York City at their brand new stadium. You got to get it done when you're at home in that brand new, beautiful facility. All right, Montreal and Cincinnati, the game of the week, if you like goals. My God. Goals upon goals upon goals upon goals in this one. Mason Toye, Torres, Mason Toye again, Hussein Hafez twice. So Toye and Hussein Hafez with 2 goals, and Torres with a goal for Montreal. Cincinnati's got goals out of Medunjanin, Brenner, Valencia, and Brenner gets the brace. This one, 9 goals here. I mean, over under, I'm thinking, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. No, not even close. 9 goals. Montreal. I mean, look at this Montreal team. There's no talent on this team at all. Like, my mind is blown that this team is as good as it is and continues to get good results. You look at this lineup right here. Pantemis, young goalkeeper. Yeah, maybe some talent later on. Camacho in the midfield. Are you kidding me? It's one of the worst center backs in MLS. Waterman just came over from the CPL last season. They got Wanyama from Tottenham Hotspur. Okay, good player, but not. I mean, he's not the player he was even just a few years ago. Jordy Mihailovic, the Fire couldn't wait to get rid of the guy. And Mihailovic, he's a good player, but dear God, he's not that good. Mason Toye was with Minnesota for a while. He's kind of resurrecting. Lapalainen's a good player. Torres, but where did this come from for Montreal? Not a team that scares me. If I'm an opposing head coach, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. His team, Wilfried Nancy has this team playing extremely well. And maybe that's the problem. The teams just are like, oh, yeah, we're going to play Montreal. And they're going to suck because they have no talent. Well, then they end up winning games. Their brother BKL says, seriously, CF Montreal are really good and glad they're back in Montreal. Yes, they are back in Montreal at Stade Saputo. And that one, thank God, the Canadian teams are back in Montreal. And we'll talk about that one with TFC as well. A very, very slick move by the Canadian teams against the government there. They basically had to fight their own government in order to get back in. And that is crazy, absolutely crazy. Zachary Harden says, I know tomorrow I'm hoping for a draw for San Jose and SKC, mostly with Busio and Polito out for Gold Cup duty. A lot of players out in the Gold Cup, so that does affect these rosters a little bit. But, Ramel Kyoto for Montreal is the team, or is the player. Ramel Kyoto being out with Honduras, that helps. Montreal's even better with him on the field. Connor said, I would like to see all Canadian teams, including Vancouver and Canada. They'll be back. Vancouver just didn't have the cojones to say F you to the Canadian government like Montreal and Toronto did. All right, so Montreal and Cincinnati. Next game up, Philadelphia versus DC United. Dupe, get it done over DC United, 2-1 from Subaru Park in Philly. Sergio Santos and Kasper Shabilko with goals right around an Assad penalty kick. Yamil Assad, man, this guy, he continues to score goals. Yamil Assad came over, played for Atlanta for a while. Now he's playing well for DC United as well. Philadelphia, they've got their roster is in pretty good shape, not missing a ton due to the Gold Cup. Kai Wagner, Elliott, Glesnes, and Bazio. It's just basically their starting lineup here with their new signing Gazdag. Philly is one of the least hit teams. The only hit they have is Andre Blake, the keeper, who is with Jamaica. DC United's got Paul Arriola with the United States and, a couple other players. But for the most part, two solid lineups from both of these teams. And Nigel Robertha, he seems to be an okay signing as well, picking up some goals, definitely, but there's definitely room for more with that DC squad. So Yordi Reyna as well. I'm surprised he's not getting more minutes for DC, but DC United can't get it done in Philly. They get the victory. Toronto and Orlando City, this game back at BMO Field, and I guess now it's a good time to talk about the teams and really shoving it to the Canadian government. They've got so basically what happened was the Canadian government had stated that you need a national interest exemption. Okay, so you had to these teams had to apply to the Canadian government to be able to play in their home stadiums, to allow their players and other players an exemption to not have to quarantine for coronavirus. So what they did was on July 5th, the Canadian government said, all right, federally, we're opening up to vaccinated players, opening up to anybody that's vaccinated can come across the border and they don't have to quarantine. So TFC said, all right, that's what we'll do then. We will just all go home and we won't have to quarantine. The vaccinated players don't have to quarantine. And the players in the other teams who are vaccinated, when they come to travel in, they don't have to quarantine. And if they don't have the vaccine, they can't play in the game. And then, boom, they got league approval for that little plan. Them in Montreal just shoved it to the Canadian government. The Canadian government, I have never seen anybody squirm like a fish out of water than the Canadian government did. And that's what shows me this is all about control. As soon as TFC and the league announced that the team was going to play the game on the 17th, I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday, the government literally said, no, we didn't give them an exemption. They can't play here. They're not allowed. They don't have the exemption. We haven't said it's okay. They can't play here. And then they realized that Toronto wasn't doing anything wrong. They were just following the government's own rules, and they could do nothing about it, and they had to suck it up and walk away with their tail in between their legs, and that was a beautiful, beautiful thing to see for TFC and Montreal. Now, good crowd there. Only I think it was only 7,000 in Toronto, and they're opening it up to 15,000 because apparently it was 25% capacity. And now, as of, I believe it was as of Sunday, the Canadian government opened it up to 50% capacity inside restaurants and et cetera, any type of gathering. So Toronto now will have 15,000 fans at the game for the game against New York Red Bulls coming up tomorrow night. Now back to this game, 1-1 draw, a disappointing result for Toronto. They were flying after their victory against New England Revolution. Then they're playing Orlando, which is a good team, but they're kind of in a rut right now. Orlando has not been putting up great results, and Josie Altidore gets on the board, 72nd minute. Who else but Josie, right? The storylines. All of a sudden, Armas is gone. Josie's back into the back into the team. He comes off the bench. He scores. Beautiful goal right in front of the supporter section. And all is well with the world, right? Then Orlando gets a penalty kick in the 77th minute. Nani slots it home. Bono gets a hand on it, but it ends up getting its way into the back of the net. And Orlando walks out with a 1-1 draw. Disappointing result for Toronto, but something to build on. I think Toronto will be better this towards the end of the year. I don't think they have enough to get into the playoffs and make a push. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they can sneak into the playoffs, but I don't think they have it in them. This team is just, I think they dug too big of a hole for themselves, and they've got to start getting 3 points, especially at every single home game, which they didn't do in this game against Orlando. All right, next game on the list, Nashville and Chicago, a 5-1 victory for Nashville. Hani Mukhtar with a hat trick. 3 goals in 16 minutes for Hani Mukhtar. It actually was 6 minutes, the 10th, the 13th, and the 16th minute. So over a span of 6 minutes, Hani Mukhtar with the hat trick, and at that point, it was over. 14th minute, Kappelhoff gets a red card for Chicago, and that's all the information I'm going to put out on this one. Actually going to let John Donovan give you the full breakdown on the podcast side. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you head over to iTunes or Google Podcasts or however you get your podcasts. Make sure you download and listen to John Donovan's Fire Update here. So with that, let's take a short sponsor break. All right, so thank you, John, for that information there on the Chicago Fire game. And Colorado and San Jose, 1-1 draw between two teams who just kind of always seem to get forgotten. Go Bucks is on the stream. How you doing, Go Bucks? He's got sheesh. That's that TikTok thing. I don't get it. I don't know what it means. It makes no sense to me at all. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below. We're at 15 like buttons as well. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Colorado won. San Jose won. Chovis Lopez with a goal for San Jose. And then you've got Colorado through Cole Bassett in the 53rd minute. So some players out on international duty in this one. As my lineups load up here. But very, very strong lineup here from Colorado. Basically their A team. Not so much for San Jose. They were missing a few people. However, that 5-4-1 formation, it's just a matter of time, I think, till Matias Almeida is either let go or moves on. He just cannot seem to garner results with San Jose. So I think I think the end of the season is probably done. So there you go. Connor says Nashville massacred Chicago. Brother BKL says, my God, Mukhtar is really good with 3 times goal, and seriously, Chicago Fire with the red card. The Fire are back to being a tire fire, ladies and gentlemen. They had a couple good games, and now they went back to trash. Jay Jardim in the house. What's up, Jay? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Vancouver, LA Galaxy. Here's another surprise for us in this game. LA Galaxy, you're thinking, no problem. They'll go into Vancouver and win just like they did a few weeks ago. Wrong. They end up losing to Vancouver 2-1. Caicedo and Dahome with the goals for Vancouver, and Ravelson for LA. So that is the problem. No, the LA Galaxy missing some faces in this one. Starting out with their man up top, Chicharito. No Chicharito, no party for LA Galaxy, that's for sure. Ethan Zubak up top with Cabral and Grandsir on the wings. Decent, but not great. Not a team that, not a striking force that I would feel really good about if I was the coach. Sarah.
Hi.
Hi.
I just got back.
Good.
Like,
How was it?
like really good.
Good.
And it went way faster than yesterday.
Nice. All right. Well, I'll be upstairs to talk about it in a little bit, okay?
Okay, bye.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right. So, for Vancouver, Thomas Hasal in goal. He is back. Dahome, Caicedo, both strong players. Brian White in the middle has done well for Vancouver since he has come into the side on that trade from the New York Red Bulls. But Vancouver, my God, this team just can't seem to pull anything together. But then all of a sudden they pull a huge surprise out of the bucket like they did against the LA Galaxy. Wait, I checked the lineup, LA Galaxy. There's no Chicharito, and I don't know what happened to him. Yes, no Chicharito. I believe it's an injury. I don't think he's on the Mexican squad, is he? I don't think he is. I think it's an injury. But the other LA team gets the job done with a 2-1 victory over Salt Lake. Ramon will be happy. Sheeptards will be sad. But LAFC gets the victory with goals from Diego Rossi and Carlos Vela, and Aaron Herrera, the goal scorer for Real Salt Lake. LAFC, this is a team who has looked like a shell of themselves since last season. Honestly, even last season, they just were not that good. And this team has tons of talent. You look at this lineup, and it's amazing. I mean, Farfan, decent player, not great, but good. Murillo and Segura in the back. Those are two very good center backs. Blessing, Atuesta, Raheem Edwards, Cifuentes in the midfield. It's a strong midfield. Then you've got Vela and Rossi, the two unbelievable strikers. I don't see Rossi being in this league much longer, but I've been saying that now for over a year, and he is still in the squad. So I don't know what's going on there, but Hugo Loeb over on Facebook says Vancouver win tonight. I'm hopefully for your sake, Hugo, it happens against Houston. They might be able to get it done for sure. Zachary says Chicharito was pulled before the 7-4 SKC, if my memory was right, and has not played since. Okay, yeah, I honestly can't remember because I was on vacation in the first few weeks of the last week of June and the first few weeks of July, and was not staying up on all of the news and notes on that one. But thanks for that heads up there, Zachary. Appreciate it. All right, so LAFC getting back on track slowly but surely. That team that they have is a very, very good team. We'll see how things roll going forward, but not the threat that they were in the past. But again, not as bad as they were in the beginning of the season. All right, so RSL, this team building, just got to keep building. They just have to keep building. Portland and Dallas. Portland with the one victory over Dallas from Providence Park. Rocky will be happy. This team is a very, very good team, and they just play so much better at home than they do on the road. Dallas just can't seem to figure it out. This team is so inconsistent. It's amazing. I really don't know how Lucho Rodriguez, what he does to this team and what the issues are, but this team is just really, really struggles with consistency. They can go out and whoop up a team, and then they'll go out and get beat down in a heartbeat. So craziness to me. All right, next game up, we've got the Sunday game. So I got to pull this schedule back here for the Sunday game. Seattle against Minnesota United. Minnesota getting the victory, 1-0 over Seattle. Seattle with their first loss of the season. I believe they were unbeaten up until that point, but no further are they unbeaten. They finally go down, and here it is. Yep, 1-0 for Minnesota at Allianz Field in Minneapolis. Well, right in between Minneapolis and St. Paul. The stats in this matchup, some people missing for Seattle with injuries and Gold Cup. And you've got possession was a little bit for Minnesota there. Shots on goal, Seattle in the lead. Then total shots, Minnesota had them. So a very, very close game, but Seattle with the loss there, 1-0. Robin Lode in the 81st minute. Lode always seems to score those big goals at the right times for sure. So, all right. Moving right along, that does it for the MLS recap. Now let's talk about, let's go through the games for next week to see, starting out this week, and take a look at the standings and then some of the matchups. Here are the standings, as you can see here on the screen. New England in the lead in the Eastern Conference, 27 points out of 14 games played. Philadelphia right behind them. Orlando, Montreal, Nashville, Columbus, and New York City round out the top 7 into the playoffs. Red Bulls, DC, right behind them. Atlanta, Cincy, Chicago, and Toronto, and Miami at the bottom. Poor Miami. That team, dear Jesus, God help that team. Western Conference, Seattle Sounders, 29 points, 14 games played. Kansas City quietly rolling to a 2-point per game average, 26 points out of 13 matches. Kansas City, can they catch Seattle? We will see. We will see. LA Galaxy right behind Kansas City. Colorado, LAFC, Minnesota, and Portland wrap up the playoff teams in the West. Salt Lake, Houston, Austin, San Jose, Vancouver, and Dallas at the bottom of the Western Conference. So pretty much where we expected it to be in the Western Conference. Those are all the teams that we kind of had in the playoff picture and the teams that are out of the playoff picture. However, in the Eastern Conference, if you're telling me right now you had projected New England to be leading the East and Montreal to be in the 4th spot with Nashville in the 5 and Atlanta, Chicago, Toronto, Miami, Cincinnati at the bottom, I need to see it on paper with a timestamp because I wouldn't believe you, not for 1 second. All right, looking at the games ahead for next week, we have Costa Rica and Jamaica are back underway. Thank God we had a weather delay on the live stream reaction earlier for a long, long time to the point where we finally just switched it over to the Suriname-Guadalupe game and said, to hell with it. Let's go. Also here, Honduras and Qatar. Qatar just scores in the 25th minute to get a 1-0 lead over Honduras. That's interesting. I am interested to see that end of that game. That's going to be a good one. Vancouver and Houston tonight at 9 o'clock. Then Panama and Grenada as well tonight at a 10:30 kickoff because they're behind that Costa Rica-Jamaica game. Now, tomorrow, Columbus-Nashville. That's going to be a very good matchup. Go check out Shooting the Sports-ish and their page with Connor's page. Connor will be doing a live reaction for Columbus and Nashville. Hopefully, if his internet issues don't keep acting up there, good luck, Connor. Miami, New England. New York City and Montreal, another very good matchup. I'm excited to watch this one. New York City and Montreal, two of the top teams in the East right now, well, in playoff picture, and I'd like to see this one play out well. Also, we've got Toronto and New York Red Bulls. Toronto's got to get back on track. Cincinnati and Atlanta, team of two teams that are struggling, big-time struggling teams. And who's going to get it done? Who will move into a victory? Will it be Atlanta with their new interim coach? Will it be Cincinnati? Also, other games, KC, San Jose, like Zachary was talking about before there. Jay says 15 at BMO tomorrow. Very nice. 15,000 will be in attendance at BMO if they can sell the tickets because they've been actually advertising tickets. I went and looked at them. Tons of tickets available, Jay. So if you want to go, I don't know if that's changed since I saw it earlier this afternoon, but maybe you ought to go to the game, Jay. Just saying. All right, Portland LAFC, another very strong game. This one looks like a good game to watch. Then on Thursday, Orlando and Philly, and Austin, Seattle. This one I actually have not checked the designated player level membership results, the vote to see which game it would be. I know Austin and Seattle was in the lead. I believe we're going to end that vote at midnight tonight, but I just want to see where we happen to be at this point. There has been, 6 votes, and it's at 67% for Austin and Seattle. So that will be our live stream reaction for members only Thursday night. Tomorrow, I will not be able to do any games as well as doing the late games in that vote because I'm going to have a root canal tomorrow. So don't want to be trying to talk too much when the Novocaine is either still on there or wearing off because that would not be pretty. Although it might be a little bit, there'd be some good comedy value to that one. All right, Saturday, July 24th, Atlanta, Columbus, Chicago, Toronto. I'm disappointed. I go every year to the Chicago-Toronto game in Chicago because that's where I live. And you know what? Not going to make it this year. I don't feel like going. I'm not paying $40 for parking, and I'm certainly not going to the game. I'd rather hang out here and do live reactions for the CONCACAF Gold Cup games, which will be the Group D winner, which at this point would be, I believe, would be Qatar against El Salvador. And then it would be Mexico against Group D runner-up, which would be, at this point, I believe, Honduras. So that should be a 2 good matchups there to be doing live. So I'd rather do those than go to the game myself. Daniel says, take the bus. I ain't taking public transportation in Chicago, man. That's way too dangerous. Way too dangerous, Daniel. It's way safer in New York. Way safer. Chicago, the L system in Chicago, there's shootings, multiple shootings a day on the L. Not happening. And there, Allison says, no way. No way. Some other games of note here. LAFC Vancouver, maybe. But Saturday night, Nashville, Cincinnati, probably one of the best games there on Saturday. And Atlanta, Columbus would probably be the ones that would really stick out in my mind. Then on Sunday, New England and Montreal, that should be a great game. New York City and Orlando as well. And then the two Gold Cup matchups, Canada and the United States against the winner of the Costa Rica and Jamaica game. So Canada plays the winner of that matchup and U.S. gets the loser. So, yeah, really, it's that bad. Yes, it's that bad, Jay. It is really bad. No, you can't take public transportation. Not in Chicago. No way. You can take the Metro, which is like the GO train in Toronto. You can take the GO train right downtown. But then as soon as you get as soon as you get off the damn train, you're in trouble because it's dangerous down there. I mean, it's real bad. So yeah, Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be doing a lot of live stream reactions for the Gold Cup quarterfinals. Each matchup I'm hoping to do. It's going to be fun. Mexico, Canada, USA, El Salvador are the teams that are there right now. We don't know what matchups exactly will be, but we'll get there. So exciting week ahead. 26 games between now and the end of the week in MLS. Lots of action. So that should make for a very exciting podcast in next week. Dan Geringer, yes, it is bad in Chi-Town. Shootings all weekend long. Yeah, it's crazy. And there you go. There you go. Right there. There's a story. And that's just had a kid internship 3rd year at UFC hospital on his commute home, gets shot in the neck. And there we actually have a family member who works at UFC. And she, it's crazy. It is scary. Absolutely scary. All right. So now time to move to the Gold Cup, guys. Recapping the Gold Cup's games. Starting out Group A, we already know how this one finished. Mexico and El Salvador, the two teams at the top of the group. Trinidad and Tobago and Guatemala are out. That last matchup ended up being a draw, 1-1 between Guatemala and Trinidad. So Trinidad gets the 3 spot in that group. USA, Canada, I want to talk about that game. What a horrible, horrible game that was on Sunday. That was a disgusting game from both teams. Neither team played well. I'm seeing a lot of talk on Canadian soccer social media that on Twitter and everything, and them being like, "Oh man, Canada played really, really good." No, they didn't. The United States played like trash. They got that goal. They played great in the first 20 seconds to get that goal. Outside of that, the U.S. played very bad. The penalty shout, there was definitely a penalty shout there. Alexi Lalas, all the announcers were saying, yes, that was a penalty. Anywhere in the world, it was a penalty. Bad news out of this matchup, Ayo Akinola goes down with a knee injury, with the knee-to-knee hit, and he's out now for most likely the end for the rest of the season. They said likely out for the rest of the season. I'm sure he will be, and Ayo is done for the year, and that hurts TFC. That hurts Canada for sure. I don't expect Ayo to get many minutes in World Cup qualifying time, but for TFC, that's tough. It's very tough. Dan says Canada players better than the U.S. Yes, that Canada's B team is better than the U.S.'s C team for sure. But yeah, and now Laren as well, and Ayo gone. What happened? I know Laren went out with an injury. I didn't see the update. I didn't see what it was. Is he done now for a long time too? Is he done for the rest of the tournament, Jay? And their brother BKL with the update. Qatar won and 1-0 over Honduras in the 33rd minute. So USA wins the group. The importance of that is the United States now stays is on the one side of the bracket where they will not have to play Mexico until the final. And there, Daniel says, yes, James Sands is a rock. Yes, he played very well. He was one of the best players for the United States in that one. I will just say, though, Daniel, I think everybody's getting a little bit overhyped on James Sands on the U.S. timeline, U.S. Twitter. Everybody's like, oh my God, James Sands, he's like right there. He's going to be fighting with Tyler Adams for that number 6 spot. Not so fast. Maybe in a couple of years, maybe. Good player, solid player, can definitely cover in times of need. And he showed that, but not good. Not good at all. He's not going to – I'm way overhyped there, Daniel. Way overhyped, but very good player. As I'm reading other comments here. But, okay, so he is done for the tournament. And, yes, Jay, Canada's chances are pretty much done. Yeah, well, with no Io, with no Kyle Aaron, who's that leave us? Cavallini. That's it. Done. Yeah. They might get past the winner of the Costa Rica Jamaica game, but that's about it. I don't see them getting much further than that outside of that, especially if they're playing like a Mexico or U.S., which again they can only play Mexico before because they can't play Mexico or the U.S. till the final. So yes, Canada is pretty much done and dusted there. And there's Allison, of course. Sorry, not sorry. Allison and Jay, love it. Jay says, God help us with Cavallini. He has no pace. He really doesn't. He's really slow. All right. USA, Canada, Group B. Those are the two teams moving on. Group C, Costa Rica and Jamaica. This one, both even on 6 points. Goal differential is even. Goals for is the tiebreaker for Costa Rica. So a draw in this one would give Costa Rica the win for Group C. And as of right now, let's see where let's see what the score is in this one. 0-0 at the half. So there you have it. 0-0 at the half between Costa Rica and Jamaica. That would put Costa Rica against Canada, Jamaica against the United States. That would be a solid matchup right there for sure. For both squads. I think it'd be a very good game between both. Jamaica against the U.S. and the Canada against Costa Rica game would be. Winvo Fan Club, yo, Cavallini is Mr. Food Bar, trademark Ryan Anderson. Yeah, Cavallini, I mean, he's good. He played well at Puebla for a few years, but he's not that good. But glad you're stopped by, Winvo, and hanging out there. I think Ryan's doing the Qatar-Honduras game right now, isn't he? So if you're over there, say what's up. I'm sure I'll jump on after I'm done here on this side. All right, so back to the Gold Cup. Group D, Honduras, Qatar, which is live right now. Qatar in the lead. That would put them at 7 points. Honduras with 6. And that would put Qatar in as the Group D winner, facing the Group A runner-up, which is El Salvador. So El Salvador would play Qatar, and then Honduras, Mexico. That would be, there you go. Yep, it's 1-0 Qatar. That's going to be an interesting matchup. That would be a very interesting matchup there. El Salvador against Qatar. That could be very interesting. All right. And there, yep, he is in stream. Okay. Very cool. All right. So moving forward, it looks like the knockout round, obviously we know exactly where El Salvador and United States, Mexico, and Canada will be playing. However, we don't know which teams will be playing where. My guess is that we're going to be seeing Costa Rica against Canada and then Jamaica against the United States. Now, for this tournament, everybody in all these live streams have been like, hey, what do you think's going to happen? Who do you think's going to win this tournament? Now, I was on vacation, so I didn't do a full preview and prediction of the entire tournament, which I usually do, and I'm disappointed that I didn't. But, from this, I think Mexico will get it done in this group. I don't think the United States is good enough. I don't see them losing to El Salvador, but I could see them losing to a Qatar. I could see them losing to even a Jamaica if they're playing Jamaica in that first round. So United States, if they do get to the final against Mexico didn't bring their A team, but they brought close to their A team. So a very strong team from Mexico, and I could see them winning the tournament. They're my pick to win the entire tournament. As we discussed here with Jay, Canada's chances are pretty much done. There's no way in hell Canada beats Costa Rica, Mexico, and or the United States or another team there, right? So Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But it'll be fun to watch. At least maybe they'll go on a little run, and we'll be there for the live game. So that is the Gold Cup. My prediction, my pick is Mexico to get the job done in the Gold Cup, and it's going to be a hell of a World Cup qualifying season. Cannot wait. Cannot wait for that one. That's going to be fun. So with that being said, that wraps it up for this episode of Sons of a Pitch, an American soccer podcast. Guys, it's been fun. Thank you all for hanging out with me and keeping that chat going. I need you guys for sure, especially with these podcast episodes. I need you guys to keep me engaged because talking to myself for like 41 minutes is not easy. Not easy. And there you go. Connor says, if U.S. loses, it just means Columbus gets Zardes back, which I'm looking forward to because we could really use our top goal scorer right now. Truth, Connor, truth. They do need Zardes back, but depending on when he plays, he may not play the next one, the next Columbus game because of the different times and whatnot, and the days off between those games. So that's it for this one. So I thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching. We'll be live on Thursday night. It's going to be a few days off here for Sons of a Pitch. Thursday night, I'll be on for the Boston and Seattle game for designated players only. So, again, if you are not a designated player or all-star level, or that's only those two levels, but designated player or all-star, guys, hit that join button today. Check it out. And Zachary Harden just upgraded to his designated player there, so he'll be able to be in the stream. And jump on it, guys, or the $9.99 All-Star membership. Come join me, possibly Allison, Thursday night for that game. It should be a very, very good game as well. And then we'll be back on, I believe it's Saturday for the Gold Cup games. We'll be doing both the El Salvador game and I believe the Canada game. I'm not sure. I can't remember which games are which, but I will put them out a few days before, and stop by, hit that like button for those live streams. The more likes before the stream actually starts, the better. So if you guys are watching or you're scrolling through your YouTube timeline and you see that thing, hit it and hit that like button so that more people will start waiting for that stream before it gets started. All right, guys, it's been fun. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Have a great evening.